Hey everybody, it's Natasha Lewis with Big Rock Organics and welcome to week 13. We have some fun, new, and different things, so very excited to give you a tour this week. So number one, we have everything you need for salsa making. So much in this box that would make a delicious batch of salsa. My favorite way to do salsa is to roast everything in the oven super hot and then let that cool, put it in a blender, and just blitz it up. It is so delicious, and that makes a great fresh salsa. Not probably the best option if you're going to be freezing or canning it. You'll want to Google that, but just as a fresh salsa, that is so delicious. So let's get into what we have for salsa this week. Alright, so we have some hot peppers. Now, I wanted to be sure that you knew what was hot peppers and what was not. So everything that's hot is in a bag this week, and that way there will be no confusion and you won't accidentally bite into something not realizing it was hot. So I'm gonna go through what's in here. This is a little sampling, I think, of almost all of our hot peppers. So we've got fish. These are really fun little peppers. Some of them are kind of striped, and they're a warm, pretty warm one. We've got these really awesome purple cayenne that are just so beautiful. They will actually ripen to a red, but they start out this purple color, and I just love them. So you got a couple of those guys. You've got this Sugar Rush Peach, which actually they ripen to this peachy color, so it should have a hint of peach to it. So they are hot, but they are citrusy, and they are such a great flavor. We've got a habanero, so warning, they are gonna be your hottest. They're very crinkly, and we have not let these get ripe yet. When they turn orange, then they're gonna be even hotter. Everything gets, a little hotter as it ages like that, but your habanero, so if you got any really hot fans out there. And then we got a couple of just your traditional jalapenos. So remember, when cutting hot peppers, wear gloves or use a bag and put that over your hand, and do not touch anything. Want you to be safe there. The seeds and the ribs are always going to be the hottest, so if you cut those out first, you have a better chance of, survival. So not that they're like killer hot, but just some hot pepper handling for those of you who might be new around hot peppers. If you've got too many hot peppers here, you can take and puree them like in a food processor with a little bit of olive oil, and then you can put them in ice cubes and just do little tiny ice cubes, and that can be added to soup or saute or anything that you want. So hot peppers there. It wouldn't be salsa without cilantro, so we have a new planting. I think this might be our most beautiful, gorgeous cilantro yet. This is a brand new planting, and it is just so awesome. So you can cut all of that up from one end down to the other, or for me personally, when I'm doing blender salsa, I just put it all in. Take your rubber band off, but put it all in your blender. So that is that. We got some tomatillos, guys. So tomatillos are very fun. They're basically the texture of a green tomato. So if you're making green tomato salsa, these are the perfect thing to use. So we've got some green tomatillos, and they can also be eaten raw, so you can chop them up and add them to salsa raw, but I love to roast them. So take those husks off. You don't want to eat those husks. And if you're roasting them, roast them with your garlic, your onions, your olive oil, everything in a nice hot oven. They'll blister, they'll burst a little bit, and those are great for like a green chili salsa. But you can add it in with your tomatoes as well. So I also like to use these in just a salad, chop them up. They have a great flavor, so be sure to taste them raw as well as cooked, because I do like them. They've got an interesting flavor and texture. Other peppers, we've got lots of bell peppers this week. So if you're not into fancy schmancy hot spicy salsa, these are great for that. So I think we got a variety of some purple, some green, some light, different colored bell peppers for you. And then of course the tomatoes. All right, so we've got a lot of varieties. The big ones are hitting hard. We picked a lot, actually, not we, Caitlin. Hats off to Caitlin. She's amazing. She's our tomato girl, and so a lot of tomatoes coming in. So we have a lot of different varieties. So in your box, you might get some that are not red, like this one is Ananas Noir. It's a French variety, and it is actually a ripe green. And you want to just let these ripen to soft to the touch. So this one is a little bit firm. It still has a few days to go. But this is a beautiful new one that we're growing. I really like it. It's got a beautiful marbling inside, a really complex smoky citrusy flavor. So make sure you sit down with these tomatoes and try them all individually, see what their flavors are, because they're all really unique. Of course, we have the stripy, these are Solar Flare, and let's see what else we have. So everybody's got a little different variety of tomatoes. This black one is Cherokee Purple. I love those, they're very velvety tasting. We've got, some of you might be getting, these are gonna ripen a little bit more to like a golden yellow, and those are Golden Jubilee. These are gonna ripen to a red. So we try to pick them not necessarily all on the super ripe stage so that you can enjoy your tomatoes all week long. Also, PSA, do not refrigerate your tomatoes. Please do not kill me by refrigerating your tomatoes. Leave them out on the counter, but we want to make sure that we pick them with some longevity and some breath and some life so that you can have your tomatoes all week long if you so choose. So this is a Rutger. That one's going to turn to be a nice red traditional tomato. Let's see what else we have. I think there might be another couple varieties thrown in there. So of course you can always also roast and use your cherries. So putting some of these cherry ones in is gonna give you a little bit of sweetness to your salsa. So they're also delicious to use as well. And if you're roasting them, just throw them all on a pan, you know, 425, a little olive oil, salt and pepper on there, and just roast everything till it's blistering and hot. And then into the blender it goes, and oh, it's so delicious. Oh my goodness. All right, potatoes, folks, going through all the nightshades here. We got red potatoes this week, and they are looking beautiful as always. Great for potato salad and any other potatoing that you should choose to do. We also have cucumbers, these lemon cucumbers. If you've gotten these at all during the weeks, they are a cucumber, but they just are shaped and colored like a lemon, kind of cute. Also we've had a few new crops kind of starting and the old ones dying off, so the cucumbers here, got those. We've got eggplant, so we'll be putting in some recipes for eggplant. You might get the traditional eggplant, you might get this Asian Delight or Ping Tong Long, and those guys are fun too. So we'll put in some recipes for your eggplant. It's a big bean week, lots of beans, folks, lots of beans. We got carrots. These dragon carrots are really fun. They're purple on the outside and yellow or orange on the inside. So those are great. And of course we've got our little basil wrapped up here. Best way to handle the basil, get it home, put it in a jar of water, and then put a bag over the whole thing. My basil, kid you not, lasted like a week and a half that way on the counter, and it was great. And I just took what I needed and then I put the bag back on top. So that is a great way to go. So your Italian basil. So either way you do it, you've got lots of options for salsa or Italian food. Lots of good things with tomatoes this week for sure. Don't forget those patty pan squashes. These guys are coming in. Our other squashes are kind of going. These are great to grill. Just slice them in half and then grill them with the cut side down. They're really delicious, but you can treat them like a zucchini. So anything you would do with a zucchini, do it to a patty pan. What else do we have in here? Scallions, always trying to get those guys squeezed in. You can't help but love a good scallion chopped up in your breakfast eggs, in your salad, in your just anything. I love adding the tops as well as the bottoms to there. So these are nice and tender this week. Really delicious. So I think that wraps up about everything in our box this week. I am going to be checking our winter squash field here shortly, and hopefully in the next few weeks as we start to hopefully feel a little bit more fall kicking in here. We've got sweet potatoes that are growing, we've got winter squash, all those great fall flavors that will be coming on board, along with a introduction of some of the lettuces and greens and things like that as well. So enjoy your box. We'll be posting those recipes for you in the description, so check those out. Some great recipes this week for you to try. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me as Natasha Lewis with Big Rock Organics, and have a wonderful week.